I was like, I don't understand why people do this thing.
Yeah,
And
it's like
Jason, what did you say?
well, I said if you're emotionally distressed, things like what you're discussing can happen. It's like that old childhood thing, people are different, each in a magical way.
Thank you for reminding me. That's why I love hanging out with you. So today on New Comics FAQ, we're going to talk about how to get time on stage. And stick around because after that, we're also going to talk about shows we're going to be in and Jason's recent trip to Comic Con because I need to know which graphic shirts you wore, where, and why.
Yep, the answers might surprise you. Yes,
Oh,
stick around.
okay.
Yes.
I like being surprised. Okay, but first, the FAQ, getting time on stage. So, I guess the most straightforward way is to audition.
Yeah, I would say it's if you feel confident auditioning, that's a great way. I think the best way probably is to do open mics because that's the one way you're guaranteed stage time, depending where you go, and you can sort of build up your confidence
Definitely, definitely.
systematically and naturally. But yeah, but you're right. An audition has that carrot at the end of the road where it's like you will get stage time if you are good, and that's a rare thing in stand up. A lot of it is sort of quote unquote being discovered or having friends, and auditions are great for direct results.
Yes. And so for more on open mics, check out our open mic FAQ. But the thing with open mics, the thing that's different between open mics and auditioning so you can go up in front of an audience is obviously the audience is way different. And I don't think people appreciate how different because I think a lot of people hear open mics and they think, "Oh, cool, there's going to be someone playing guitar and there's going to be it's going to be an audience." And but comedy open mics are their own thing. It's 99.9% of the time, it's only comedians in the audience. And
Mhm.
while we love to watch comedy at open mics, a lot of us are running through our material in our head, especially if we have something new or we're scribbling out, like, wait, will this punchline work? And so we're not the best audience at open mics. Now,
True.
I do try to be a very engaged audience member at the open mic that I run because I'm the
Hmm.
host there.
Right.
But that's just the reality. It's very different performing in front of other comedians than an audience. And so, getting up in front of an audience means a lot of times it means auditioning,
Right.
and every place is different. Uh, sometimes they'll want you to bring your best 2 minutes. Sometimes they'll actually have you bring 5 minutes. The funny thing about auditions is that you actually might get more audience members at an audition
Hmm.
than at an open mic, which is
Yes,
interesting.
definitely. I was gonna say definitely because you're talking about how open mics you don't get a response. The nice thing about an audition, it may be daunting, but if you tell a good joke, you will get a laugh. The judges are there to, you know, sort of feel what the audience will feel. So you actually get like fresh eyes on your act. So it's good in that way that you will indeed get a strong response from a judge in an audition if you're funny.
Well,
But yeah.
and Jason, you and I went to an audition recently, and there was that couple kind of in the middle. I don't know if you remember them, but they were great audience members. And so sometimes you'll get really great audience members in places that you don't expect. And, as you're building your following as a comedian, it's always an opportunity to, say, connect with me on social media, or I have little cards that I hand out to people. So you might actually be surprised at what you get out of an audition.
It's true. I mean, I think people should always at least once jump at the opportunity to try a new room because you'll always have new eyes on your material, and it may seem like, oh, it's a long drive, and well, what's that location? That's weird, and but yeah, you might meet someone new or get discovered for a new show. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and actually, the other day when Jason and I auditioned, it turned into a show the very next day. So sometimes things happen really quick, so be prepared. But literally every comedy club is different. So go to the websites, see what it says. Most comedy clubs have auditions weekly or twice a month. So they
Hmm.
happen pretty regularly, but they do tend to happen at the same time every week. So if that week doesn't, that time's not great for you, you're going to have to figure out how to work around that. I've had that happen where it's like, oh, this isn't a good day for me. So it takes me a couple months to work my schedule around so I can make it.
All right. I do believe the Comedy Store, which is its own complicated animal, but they have multiple times. Like I went to a open mic at 10 p.m. that turned into a quasi audition for stage time. So somewhere in this town, you can find an audition to suit your busy needs.
Yes. Also, another way to get stage time is comedy clubs are usually really open to having volunteers help out in ways
Mhm.
and get stage time in exchange for that a lot of times. Now, you might have already had to audition, but it's a way to kind of amp up your stage time. So if you're already going up somewhere occasionally and you want to go up there more often, see ask the booker or ask anyone who's in the business office, hey, is there anything I can do to help out to get more stage time? You might be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, that's how I ended up hosting at Flappers because I was going around there wondering why I wasn't getting stage time, and I was friends with the host, and I talked to the booker, and took a long, long time, but here I am.
Yes, it does take time. And hey, definitely if you can find a buddy to hang out with, like Jason and I like to do things together because it's motivating. I know Jason has other comedy buddies that he does things with. Definitely develop your comedy network because
Hmm.
everything's easier when you can grab someone to go with you somewhere.
Start messing up the paraphrasing, but it's not what you can do, it's who you know. And I feel like LA, that is such a cliche, but also like 1,000 times more true than you realize if you're all by yourself wondering, like, why aren't I getting plucked out of nowhere to get on comedy shows? Well, it's like, you just got to keep meeting people and hopefully making friends, I guess. But yeah, I'm still working on that myself. But
Okay, so tell me about Comic Con. I want to hear about how it was. I've never been, so I know nothing about it.
sure. So, San Diego Comic Con is, I think, still technically the world's largest comic book convention. There's comic cons all over the United States, probably the world, but I went to the one in San Diego, which like I said, is the largest. And
Where was
Comic
it held?
Con, oh, it's held in the San Diego Convention Center in downtown San Diego.
So what is
And
that like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people? Should I
hard to
should I should
say,
I look it up?
yeah, maybe, but
Okay.
there's a lot of movement. Because that's you go, they call it the floor, which is the first
Uh-huh.
floor of the building where everyone sets up their sales booth basically, and people kind of walk through there and shop and browse. So it's constantly cycling out, constantly cycling in. It's really
Oh,
crowded.
135,000 people. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I
I had
mean,
no idea.
because there's the floor, and then there's also panels, which is like organized presentations based on a theme. Like it's very common to see panels that are like there's literally ones that are like the Star Trek panel about what's going on with Star Trek, or Marvel Comics panel. But there's all me and my twin brother Marcus Luna, plug for Marcus, I guess, went to went to very specific panels. Like we went to one that was like movies through the decades, where they were arguing about which '80s films were the best, and it was just sort of like semi-comedic riffing argument between nerds. So,
So who are these people arguing about these movies?
so in that case, it was a podcast. I don't remember the name.
Mm.
I haven't had a chance to listen to them, but it seemed like a fine podcast. But yeah, it was like they do these varying gimmicks. So they called it Your Week in Movies. They gave each panelist like a day of the week, and they would pick their favorite movie. going down the line, they would kind of be like, "Oh, that movie's good. Oh, that movie's bad," and then they show like the preview, and it was a fun time. Just the point. There's a mix of like sort of semi corporate, where it's like,
Right.
uh, watch this TV show, the real, but it's also fans just doing whatever they want if they can have a big enough following to rent out space. So it's a nice mix of direct commerce, but also true fandom, and that goes with the sales as well. Because I feel like with the comic book sales, it's less like these companies need to make money. It's more like these fans have built a collection over the years, and they're letting you buy from it. So you get a lot more sort of specific taste, and
So
it's
it's
kind
like
of fun.
getting access to a private comic book collection?
Yeah, and
Wow. Hmm.
it's like talking to someone who's more like you as opposed to someone who works at a store. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. So despite the fact that it's still, it's expensive to participate at almost any level, even buying tickets to the con, it still has a familial or friendly aesthetic to it, especially if you're someone who's like interested in genre films or comic books and stuff. Yeah.
And we know you are interested in comic books because you're writing a script about it. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I think so. If there's any interested viewers who want to buy
Jason has written a
buy the book,
fantastic script, pilot script
yeah,
for a sitcom. And he's
all right,
cast me as his sister.
that's right. The part you were born to play.
And it's going to be about comic books and twins
Yeah,
and
and
Dungeons
just
and Dragons.
also, broader sense. It sounds so cliche. Family, but also like the workplace, and just like I guess my sense of humor for whatever that's worth. But it's worth some, I guess, more than zero. But yeah,
I think it's fantastic. So I'm excited about it. And I want to see that new draft. So
yep, in progress. Yes,
get
I need
on
you
it.
to. I need you to come to my house every day and just this at the front door, and then I'll yeah. But yes, I'm working on it.
Come on. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been.
So get that to me. Okay. So wrapping up our conversation today, let's keep it short and sweet. You can see Jason and I this Thursday at Flappers. We're going to be part of the celebrity drop-in show. What celebrities? It's always a mystery. But last week, Angela Johnson was there. I was so sad I missed her. Oh. And then either last week or the week before, Bill Burr was there. So it's always exciting. You never know who's walking by in Burbank.
We get real celebrities at Flappers, not those fake celebrities you get in I don't know other places.
Fake celebrities. Not someone you saw on a Real World season 23.
No, not that.
So get tickets. I'll put links in the comments or in the bios. And you can always go to Flappers Comedy to get tickets as well. And then flapperscomedy.com.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming up in September, so a month away, is Soy Saucy 2. I'm wearing the shirt. You can see the logo here. Isn't it cute? Soy Saucy. I do have a limited number of these shirts available for purchase. So if you go to my website, if you go to soysaucy.com, you'll see. And go to Soy Saucy to get tickets to see Jason and I and 6 other of my Asian Latin friends doing our stand-up at the Crow in Santa Monica, which if you haven't been there, it's a really great place. Mom-owned, women-owned. Flappers is also woman-owned. And yeah, it's just, it's great supporting all these great comedy places. And I am trying to find my Soy Saucy link, and there it is. Soysaucy.com, SOYSAUCEY.com. Yeah, I love the Crow is a great location. It has amazing free parking. And if you are so inclined, it also is right there at the metro stop. So you can actually take a metro to go see comedy in LA. How crazy is that? Speaking of metros, I heard the metro to LAX opened. Did you hear about that?
No, that seems like something that should have been opened a long time ago, and seems very convenient. So
Oh my
good
god.
for Los Angeles.
Yes, I haven't checked out like how easy it will be for me to access this metro, but like being able to go to the airport and not have to spend $100 each way to get there is like life changing. That's amazing in terms of, cost of travel. So, yay, Metro! Okay, well, Jason and I will see you around with more stand up comedy FAQs and what's going on with us. But to get tickets for our upcoming show, go to flapperscomedy.com for this week. And for Soy Saucy numero dos, go to soysaucy.com. That show's in September. See ya!
Bye.